Good morning, everybody. Boy, am I excited for so many reasons today. It's spring, it's beautiful outside, we have an amazing guest, and we have a studio audience of fourth graders from Cooper Elementary.
Awesome.
They've been waiting for this moment for a long time.
I'm sure.
My guest today, who is also my friend, she's a dog trainer and lots of other things. We'll do that at another time.
Sure.
But her name is Jennifer Skiba.
Skiba, yep.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about you and your buddy that you brought today.
I have been working with dogs for over 2 decades. I started my training business about 15 years ago. In Colorado. My husband and I, with our dogs, relocated to Arkansas in 2021. So I'm rebuilding my business here. This is Walter. He is a blue standard poodle. He's about 6 years old, and he is my work partner. I use him a lot when I'm training and working with clients.
Maybe we get a picture of him here in a second.
There he is. Down there.
Boy, he's such a good boy.
I know. He is a good boy. You are a good boy, aren't you? You are. He has his challenges, though, for sure.
Okay.
I think that if I could take him to get a dog eye test, he would probably squint like I used to as a kid. I think that's an E or a B. Doesn't see very well. His depth perception is a little bit off. So that sometimes affects him when we're out in public. Like if he sees something, he'll stop and he'll kind of try to squint and kind of get a good view of it. And so a lot of dogs will view that as intimidating. And so he's very dog selective when we're out in public because he gives the wrong signals to other dogs and they misinterpret that. And so I just like to give him bigger space bubble when we're out in public.
So what I hear you say is every dog, just like every person, approaches life a little differently.
Absolutely, absolutely. When we're looking at dogs, I like to tell my students that the S stands for statistics. Like statistically speaking, dogs do this. But when you talk about a dog, you're talking about the individual, right? So Walter is an individual, just like I am, just like you are.
Kind of like you said, like the shy cousin who...
Oh, for sure. Like Walter is very much like a shy cousin who doesn't want hugs at Thanksgiving. You know, he's got his own, he loves people. Dogs, he's a little bit selective about.
Okay.
Selective. He likes girls better than boys. It takes him a long time to warm up to other dogs. And so knowing that, I just try to set him up for success when we're out in public.
Okay, so you're gonna talk now about understanding dog consent and greetings. What does that mean?
So sure. So oftentimes when we're in public, when people see Walter, even like when we got here today, just because my dog is in public does not make them public property. Meaning, I would no sooner walk up to somebody with a young child and hug that child without asking. And if I did, it'd be kind of weird. And yet, so people say, oh, well, can I pet your dog? That's great, and I love that you ask me. However, after you ask me, it's really important that you ask the dog, because the dog has autonomy and the dog should have an ability to say, no, thank you. I don't want you to touch me. I mean, we're friends, we're affiliative, but if I went over there and I brushed your hair back, that'd be weird.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right? And yet people think nothing of invading a dog's space and touching them. And the dog, oftentimes when they're on leash, doesn't have a way to move away. Mm-hmm. So if I had a small child and hi, Susie. Like we see this at the holidays. Hi, Susie. And they kind of hide behind mom's leg because they're a little shy. We say, oh, she's shy. That's okay. But when a dog does that, it's somehow not okay. And so when we're greeting dogs, I really encourage everybody, especially kids, to ask the owner, can I say hi? And wait for an answer, yes or no. And then ask the dog. So what's the dog's name? Fluffy. Fluffy, you know, pat your leg. If the dog comes over, then the dog is saying, yeah, I want some engagement. I would like to hang out with you. If the dog is like, cool, then the dog doesn't want to, and that's okay. No is an acceptable answer to that question.
Gotcha.
If the dog comes over, when you pet a dog, don't go straight for their head, right? You want to go from I tell people go from their collar to their tail. It's the biggest area on the dog, and they tolerate it the best. So after we pet for a little bit, stop, take your hand away, and let the dog decide, do I want to stay for more, or have I had enough, thank you, and I'm gonna walk away. A lot of dogs learn to tolerate this interaction from humans, so they kind of like, okay, yeah, you can pet me. Are we done now? And then they're like, okay, now we're done.
Yeah.
Where other dogs love it. Like you'll know the difference. Like they come in and they like lean on you and they're like, yes, I love this. Like you'll know the dogs that love that human engagement, and you'll know the ones that tolerate it, and you'll know the ones that don't. So in general, ask permission, ask the dog, engage with them, and then stop and let them make a decision if they want to continue or if they're done.
Gotcha. Okay, so the dog can actually, you can tell if the dog is saying yes or no.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so what would you say if somebody walked up to you and said, may I pet your dog, and you already kind of know what needs to happen? How would you politely say?
Not today.
Oh, okay, you go right for it.
I go right for it. No, I take it very seriously that I am his guardian. I am his protector. That is the promise I made to him. I live with him. I don't live with this stranger. And if I offend that stranger, I don't really care, because I live with this dog. It's my responsibility to protect him. Now, if it's somebody who's really friendly, I will say, ask him. It's up to him. I've had many instances where I have said that, ask the dog, and the dog has very clearly said no. If it's a kid, I will often say, not today. He's a little shy, or, let me show you a trick. Sometimes if the kids are very well-mannered or the people are very well-mannered, I do allow that interaction.
I think we might be showing some pictures here in a second. Go ahead, little Stevie Wonder in the background. You're awesome. There you go. Tell us about this picture.
This is a picture from a few years ago when I was younger and thinner, and I'm training a class, and we're actually working on probably greetings in that situation. That's a very beautiful dog. That's Maisie. She's a sweetheart.
Okay, and let's do another one really quickly. What's happening in this picture?
So this is a really great example of what not to do. Right? These are my students, absolutely. So if you'll notice, you can see how their leashes are crossed. So when dogs do a greeting, they're going to go nose to nose, and then they're going to go nose to tail. So because the humans are standing stationary, if they don't move their feet, those leashes are going to get tangled very quickly. And that's having too many interactions like that can generate a dog who doesn't want to have on-leash greetings.
Yes.
Because they got tangled up.
Yes, I gotcha. Okay, so is Walter up for a trick, or is this a bad time? He looks kind of comfortable.
He is kind of comfortable.
Maybe later.
Yeah, let's wait and see. Let's get him set. When we're done and he doesn't have to get excited and then settle again, we'll see if we can get a trick out of him.
You're such a good dog, Mom.
You know what? It's the promise I made to him. It's the promise I made to him.
I love what you said in an email to me earlier today, and in fact, let's close with this later. I'm going to say it now, but let's close with it. May you always have a dog to love.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say, the farmer's market is going to start up pretty quickly here.
Yes.
Tell us about how that works with the dog and people.
Well, again, like I said before, just because your dog is in public does not make them public property. And so I get it, right? You work all week and the weekend's here and you want to do fun adventure things with your dog. First and foremost, ask yourself, does my dog want to go? Does my dog want to go? My husband might want to go to, I don't know, a monster truck rally. I don't want to go, right? Any more than he doesn't want to go to a soap making class with me, right? Just because I love someone as much as I love my dog doesn't mean that we have to have the exact same interests. So because I might enjoy going out in public around the people and going to the farmer's market, that doesn't mean that my dog necessarily would enjoy it. But Jennifer, my dog loves to go to the farmer's market. Do they? I don't know. Have you asked? If you and here's the challenge with farmers markets. If you're going to take your dog to the farmers market, first and foremost, you want to go when it's early, before it's hot. You really want to watch the pavement.
Yes.
You want to get in, get your stuff, get out. I tell my students, if you're going to the farmer's market with your dog, your focus should be on the dog, not on getting your tomatoes. If your focus is getting the tomatoes, you're not going to be paying attention to your dog. And if you're not paying attention to your dog, then that opens you up to unsolicited greetings, which is not something that I advise, right? Just like I wouldn't reach over and brush your hair as you're my friend, I certainly would not run up to you in public, grab your arm. I would startle you. I would scare you. And that's the biggest challenge, I think, with farmers markets, with people who bring their dogs, is that they're not paying attention to their dogs. Their dogs are being inadvertently rude. They're doing greetings when there hasn't been consent given between the dogs. There's a whole host of problems with the farmers market. So, yes, not my favorite place to take a dog. I do it, but it's not my favorite place to take a dog.
So, but you do want to socialize them and have them, I don't mean necessarily at the farmer's market, but so where would you take your dog? If they didn't want to go to the farmer's market, where would you go?
So if I do take my dog to the farmer's market, I'm always, the focus of that adventure is on the dog, not on getting the tomatoes. So I'm always checking and looking at my dog. Is my dog still having a good time? So I have often hung back. At Bella Vista, there's the grass area. I would hang out in the grass area and watch the farmer's market from a distance and see how my dog does. If they're calm like this and they're okay, then maybe next week we're gonna walk the perimeter of the farmer's market, but we're gonna walk on the outside of it. And then if the dog is happy and controlled and listening and not overly aroused, then I might start to go around and go in and then come back out. I'm not gonna take a dog that doesn't have good public access skills and take them directly in through the farmer's market. I want to set the dog up for success.
I gotcha.
Right? And so farmers markets are great to polish socialization and public access skills. It's not the place to teach them.
Gotcha.
Right.
You know, you've told me so many times, and you're right, it's just hard to remember, that you're really not training the dog. You're training the owner, or I hate the word owner because that just sounds like their piece of property. But
I agree with you.
Yeah.
A guardian.
Yes.
A parent.
A parent, whatever. So, you know, tell us about that. I know you don't use a lot of words.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't use a lot of words. So a dog's primary communication style is body language, visual signals. So that's their primary language. As much as I want them to learn English, I believe I need to learn a little bit of dog. So I need to learn how to communicate with them in their primary language so that they can understand how to learn my language. Dogs learn with a lot of subtlety, pressure and release and head tilts, just a ton of body language. And so our job is to teach them in the manner that they learn best.
Gotcha. We're going to take a very quick little break, and then we're going to come back and talk some more. And then maybe, you know, Walter is just he's just happy. He doesn't care that there's a whole bunch of people around right now anyway. But maybe we can get a little interaction going with him and show him off.
Sure.
All right. So we'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Dave Todd, president of Todd Films. We work alongside Bella Vista Community Television to produce some of the content you see aired here. Have you thought about reaching your customers through a television ad? We have several options for you to consider. They range from coming to our studio here, or going to your place of business, or on location. Once you have your commercial, Bella Vista Community Television has several options for you to consider for airing your commercial. Do you have a live event that you would like to capture on video? We also offer live production packages that may be of interest. Please continue to tune in to Bella Vista Community Television. We hope you are enjoying this program. And now back to the show.
Okay, we're back, and I want you all to look at this handsome boy. Jennifer just said he thinks he's sitting, but actually he's posing. He looks like a little model going on there. Tell us about Walter. Tell us about his story.
So let's see. Walter is my fourth standard poodle, and he came to us when my dad was wrapping up his life.
We're going to have a picture of him.
That's Pearl.
Oh, okay, never mind.
That's my other dog.
Okay.
There's Walter.
Yes.
There's Walter. So, yeah, I took that in the snow that we just had recently. He loves the snow. Loves it. Of all my dogs, he's the one that loves the snow the most. But he came to us when my dad was wrapping up his life, so a good portion of his first year was spent at the nursing home. So he's very used to settle and calm and hanging out with mature people, we like to call it. So this is kind of just, kind of normal for him.
Yeah.
So.
You said earlier that some other dogs might not understand about his poor vision.
Yeah, so Walter is what I would call dog selective, meaning he's very selective about the dogs that he wants to interact with. He does not love really rude interactions. So if a dog approaches him, what I would call hot, like really quick right up into his space, he will give a correction and he will say, back off, know your boundaries. I don't appreciate rude dogs. And there's a lot of dogs in this world that fall under that category, and they deserve to be able to go out and have fun adventures as well. And it's a big struggle for a lot of us because there's a lot of dog owners have he's friendly mindset. Oh, they're friendly. It's fine. But it doesn't make it appropriate. Just because if your dog is running into my dog's space and doing a butt sniff without a consent, that's rude. And a lot of dogs don't like it. He is one of them.
Gotcha.
He's one of them.
So can he show off some of the things that he does?
Walter, hey, hi. What do you want to do? You want to do a trick? Come here. Come on.
He's selective.
Yeah, well, he's like everybody's watching. Come on, give me a kiss. Come here.
This is the
He's
same
like,
thing.
I'm shy now.
This is the same thing
Come
as
here.
a parent when you
Come
know
on.
your child is just adorable
There
and
you
then they
go.
hide behind
Thank
your
you.
leg when you want them
Sit.
to do something.
Oh, you're pathetic. You're pathetic. Hey, Walter.
Oh, there we go.
Thank you.
Kisses.
Give me 5. Hey, shake. Walter, come here.
There
Yeah.
we go.
Can I have your other one? Can I have this one? Yeah. You nervous? Oh, thank you. Thank you.
What's Walter's favorite thing to do? Does he play with his brother and sister?
He's got 2 sisters.
Okay.
What is Walter's favorite thing to do? Police his sisters. His favorite thing in the whole wide world would probably be, and I hate to say this, hunt armadillos.
Oh my! I've heard about some of his armadillo things.
He's very adept at that job. It's not a job I particularly like, but it is a job that he finds fabulously fun. And He likes tug. He's not a big fetch dog, but he'll play tug. So that would round out Walter's hobby list.
I got you. So let's talk a little bit about, we started on this, but quickly, your theory of not working with words so much as signals, and a little bit about that.
So one of the biggest challenges for humans is that our insistence on relying on verbal communication and not using our body language. I personally believe all dogs should know verbal signals, visual signals, and environmental signals, environmental cues. Because as our dogs get older, they might lose their vision or their hearing, so we might want the other version. But I also want them to learn based on the environment. So for instance, one thing that I've taught my dogs that I recommend for everybody is to hold a boundary at the door. So if my door is open, they do not go out without a cue. I don't say stay, I say you may come out. And believe it or not, I was 2 weeks ago when we were having all that really bad wind, my front door blew open.
Oh.
And I heard it and I thought, well, that's weird. Is my husband home? And I thought, no, it's too early for that. And sure enough, the door's wide open and there's my 3 dogs standing there looking around like, well, who opened the door? How did that happen? But they didn't run out. They don't bolt that door. And so that's a cue for the environment. The door itself is the cue that you must hold that position, not the human saying stay, stay, stay. So it takes more work in the beginning to teach environmentally, but it pays off in the long run.
Gotcha. Tell us a little bit about your business. You can brag on what you do, and if somebody wanted to get a hold of you, how would they do that?
Oh, if they want to get a hold of me, they can go to my website. Thanks to COVID, I do have online courses, which I really like because they're on demand. So if you want to, I've taught traditional dog training classes for years. And I can't tell you how many times I've had a new dog guardian say, classes are on Saturday, but I like to go skiing. I understand that. Oh, we go camping, we go hiking. I get that. But your puppy, especially if it's a puppy, your socialization window is really, really small. So it's hard to commit to a weekly class, especially when it's on the weekend. And one of the beautiful things about online classes is that you can binge them, you can rewind them, everyone in the house can watch them. Mine are very heavy videos. And for people who live close to me locally, they can do in-person training as well. This is more traditional. Like that's what I do with you. I come to your home. We work on skills that are specific to you and your dogs and your household. And then because you're local to me, you can do what I call hybrid learning, where you do the online courses and you add the remote training so that when we do get together, you've already learned the instructional part and I'm just here to hands-on coach you. So I do offer that. I also have a community-based lecture program every month. It's a $10 ticket, which is super cheap. But I cover a variety of lectures every month, and so that's available as well. I think I have a YouTube channel as well. I'm kind of not as great about posting videos. I have a ton of videos. I just got to get better about posting them. I think that it's really important for people to spend the time to learn about their dogs. It's just a dog. It's just a dog. If I decided to adopt a lion or a giraffe, I would do a lot of research on how to care for that animal. And yet, because dogs are domesticated and it's just a dog, so many people get a dog and then they don't really invest any time in learning more about their dog, and that's unfortunate. And I think a lot of people think, oh, private dog training is too expensive. It's true that it's more expensive at first glance than a class at like a big box location. However, when you're doing private training, we are focusing exactly on that thing that you're struggling with, whereas big box locations, it's more of a generalized education. And so you might go and you're going to learn a lot of cool things, but it might not actually address the issue that you're actually struggling with.
So let's talk about Bubba and what you're doing with Molly, my dog, and Bubba, and all your other...
So I do use a variety of artificial dogs. They're stuffed dogs. They all have names.
Bubba's hanging in my garage right now, folks.
Yeah, so Bubba is a basset hound. I have a Chihuahua, I have a Husky, I have a Lab. So I use these artificial dogs as setups. So I'll put them in the environment and then I practice neutrality with my dog, right? So when my dog sees another dog, it's not, I must greet you, and it's not, I want to challenge you. It's more of like a, hey, how's it going? I mean, think about it. When you're at the park, if you're walking around the park and you see 10 people, of those 10 people, how many people do you make eye contact with? Half of them, like maybe 50%, you look at them. Of that 50%, how many do you stop and talk to? 2? None, truly, but we'll say 2 for example's sake.
Right.
And out of those 2, how many do you hug? None, right? So when we're walking, we might head nod, we might say, nice weather, it's warm, hi. And that's what I want my dogs to learn, is that neutrality. Like I walk past another dog and I can do the head nod, hey, how's it going? Not, I must stop and engage with you and shake your hand, and in the case of the dogs, sniff your butt. We don't need that. We can be social with a distance without having to physically touch you, and so can our dogs. And so I use my artificial dogs to teach that neutrality.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. So I use those dogs to teach that neutrality, because when you're in public and you have a real dog, I can't control what that other dog's going to do.
Gotcha.
But with an artificial dog, I can control that because they're not going to do anything.
Okay, I think we have just a few minutes left, and I promised the studio audience that they would have a couple of questions for you. So
what do we got?
Let's do it like we did before. Just say your name and your question.
What are the challenges, obstacles of being a dog trainer?
The biggest struggle, and that's a great question, the biggest challenge I have, if I'm going to be really honest, if you do what I tell you to do, I'm a great dog trainer. Oh, my dog trainer's so great. It's so much better. But if you don't do what I say, dog training doesn't work, my trainer wasn't any good. The training is only as good as how much my students do what I tell them to.
So you're saying really is the human.
Yes.
That's your biggest challenge.
Yes, the human is my biggest challenge.
Gotcha.
Compliance from the humans.
Gotcha. Okay, one more, I think.
My name is Jake Yonacek. Why do you want to be a dog trainer?
Why do I want to be a dog trainer? I started to be a dog trainer because I'm real good at it. Right?
And she's modest, too, you can tell.
Well, I mean, my very first dog training class with my very first dog, it just came very naturally to me. Like it made sense to me. What the teacher was teaching, I was like, of course, it made sense. And so that's how I'm a dog trainer. It just made sense to me. It clicked.
Hey, Jennifer, thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Walter, you're just a gem. Maybe you're just tired. Who knows? Maybe you've been chasing armadillos all night. Who knows?
No, we haven't had any yet, so fingers crossed.
All right. So let's close out today with the wonderful little thing that you said to me in your email. Mm-hmm. And
may you always have a dog to love.
There you go.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time for Let's Talk About It. And you never know, you might be seeing a lot more of Jennifer in future. And Walter.
Yeah, maybe I'll bring my other ones.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.